Welcome to the executive summary. Most people never read How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Today, you're going to get the ideas that matter most from it in a fraction of the time. If that is the kind of edge you're looking for, like this video and subscribe now. Here is what you need to know. Dale Carnegie, the man who would later become widely known as Dale Carnegie, embarked upon his life's journey from humble beginnings in Maryville, Missouri, a rural landscape that shaped his early understanding of the world and its people. In 1922, he made the deliberate decision to change his surname to Carnegie, a strategic alteration that many believe was intended to create an association with the esteemed industrialist Andrew Carnegie, despite there being no familial connection between the two men. This early career path of Dale Carnegie was far from the polished lecture halls he would later command, instead involving demanding work as a salesman for Armour & Company, traversing the vast distances of South Omaha, Nebraska, to sell essential goods like bacon, soap, and lard. These formative experiences in direct sales provided him with invaluable, first-hand insights into the intricate nuances of human nature, teaching him the subtle arts of persuasion and the fundamental importance of understanding individual needs. Carnegie himself was a profoundly shy young man during his youth, hailing from a poor farm family, and his personal struggles with public speaking became a powerful catalyst, motivating him to meticulously develop and refine methods for effectively overcoming social anxiety. This deeply personal transformation from a reticent farm boy into a remarkably confident and articulate public speaker served as a compelling, living testament to the profound effectiveness and practical applicability of the very methods he meticulously taught to countless others. His own humble beginnings on that Missouri farm deeply instilled within him a profound understanding of the common struggles and universal aspirations that resonate with ordinary people, thereby making his practical advice widely accessible and profoundly impactful. Furthermore, Carnegie's early professional endeavors included selling correspondence courses to ranchers, a challenging occupation that further honed his innate understanding of persuasion and the critical necessity of discerning human needs within a practical, real-world context. He even ventured into acting, an experience that further sharpened his perception of human emotions and refined his ability to communicate with compelling effectiveness through performance, laying a crucial foundation for his later work. From these deeply personal struggles and the rich tapestry of his early experiences, Carnegie began to forge a distinctive path that would ultimately lead him to a profound and enduring understanding of human nature. In 1912, a pivotal year, Dale Carnegie initiated his very first public speaking course at a Young Men's Christian Association, or YMCA, in the bustling heart of New York City, after successfully persuading the director to grant him the opportunity to teach a class focused on effective speaking and personality development, in exchange for a share of the generated profits. This groundbreaking endeavor marked the official founding of the Dale Carnegie Training Institute, an organization that continues its vital operations today, diligently offering courses based upon his original, foundational principles to millions of individuals across the globe. By the 1930s, Carnegie's innovative courses had achieved such widespread popularity and acclaim that he frequently rented out the magnificent grand ballroom of the prestigious Hotel Astor in New York City, drawing immense crowds of eager students who were hungry for his practical wisdom. Carnegie's distinctive training methods were characterized by their highly practical nature, frequently involving engaging exercises such as students delivering impromptu speeches or actively participating in dynamic role-playing scenarios, all meticulously designed to build unwavering confidence and facilitate the immediate application of his core principles. Long before the eventual publication of his seminal work, How to Win Friends and Influence People, Carnegie dedicated many years to teaching public speaking at the YMCA, where he meticulously developed many of his foundational principles through rigorous practical application and keen observation of his students' remarkable progress. His courses became so exceptionally popular that he once conducted a class with an astonishing roster of over 150 students at the iconic Hotel Astor, a clear demonstration of the widespread hunger for his pragmatic and actionable advice. Initially, Carnegie's courses primarily focused on empowering individuals to overcome debilitating stage fright and significantly improve their public speaking abilities, with the broader human relations aspect organically evolving and expanding from these crucial foundational lessons. The Dale Carnegie course was originally known as Public Speaking and Influencing Men in Business, a title that later broadened to How to Win Friends and Influence People to more accurately reflect its expansive and encompassing scope. A key component of Carnegie's innovative teaching methodology involved encouraging his students to diligently maintain a success diary, a personal journal where they meticulously recorded instances of applying his principles and documented the positive outcomes they achieved, thereby powerfully reinforcing their learning and solidifying their understanding. These immensely successful courses laid the essential groundwork for a book that would profoundly change the lives of millions, though its creation was not without its own unique challenges and initial resistance. The genesis of this iconic book began in 1934 when Carnegie's distinguished publisher, Simon & Schuster, put forth the suggestion that he compile a comprehensive textbook based upon his immensely popular public speaking and human relations courses, which he had been diligently teaching since 1912. Initially, Carnegie expressed resistance to the idea of writing the book, holding a firm belief that his invaluable course material was most effectively delivered through oral instruction and direct interaction. But he eventually acquiesced, agreeing to allow a skilled stenographer to meticulously transcribe his dynamic lectures, which then formed the fundamental basis of the manuscript. The book was originally conceived with the lengthy title How to Win Friends and Influence People and Stop Worrying and Start Living, but the publisher ultimately made the discerning decision to split it into two distinct and separate books, with the latter volume being published in 1948. The book's initial print run was a modest 5,000 copies, a cautious number for a new release, but demand for its profound insights quickly skyrocketed, leading to multiple, urgent reprints within mere months of its momentous 1936 publication. Interestingly, the book's initial manuscript was never actually intended for publication. It was merely a practical collection of notes and handouts that Carnegie had meticulously prepared for his highly successful public speaking and self-improvement courses. Simon & Schuster, the book's eventual publisher, initially harbored reservations about publishing it, believing there was no significant market for a book focusing on human relations, and only agreed to proceed after Carnegie's persistent advocacy and the undeniable success of his burgeoning courses. The book's now famous title was cleverly suggested by Leon Shimkin, who was then a young and astute executive at Simon & Schuster, recognizing the immense appeal of a practical guide designed to foster social success. The book's original subtitle, A Handbook for Human Relations in Business and Social Life, eloquently emphasized its practical, everyday applicability across various aspects of life. The first edition of How to Win Friends and Influence People was published in 1936 and immediately became an instant bestseller, achieving the remarkable feat of selling over 1 million copies within its very first year. The book's rapid success was a powerful testament to the meticulous research and profound insights that were meticulously woven into its creation, drawing wisdom from both historical figures and contemporary personalities. Dale Carnegie's seminal work, How to Win Friends and Influence People, emerged not from abstract philosophical musings, but from his meticulous and extensive research into the very fabric of human interaction, a process that spanned many years and countless observations. The book's foundational principles were largely derived from Carnegie's deep dives into the lives of historical figures, such as the profoundly influential Abraham Lincoln and the dynamic Theodore Roosevelt, alongside his careful study of contemporary business leaders, all undertaken to identify common, recurring patterns in their remarkable success. Carnegie's research methodology was incredibly thorough, involving the painstaking reading of countless biographies, historical articles, and transcribed interviews, while he simultaneously spent years observing human interactions unfold in a myriad of settings, from the hushed solemnity of corporate boardrooms to the vibrant energy of bustling social gatherings. His innovative method for developing the book's practical advice involved a unique pedagogical approach where he would send his students into real-world situations, tasking them with applying his nascent principles and subsequently reporting back on their tangible results, thereby allowing him to continually refine and perfect his advice based on invaluable practical feedback. The book itself is replete with illuminating anecdotes about famous figures, like the astute Benjamin Franklin, who deliberately cultivated an enemy by politely asking to borrow a rare book, thereby invoking what is now famously known as the Ben Franklin effect, which posits that making others like you could be achieved by allowing them to do you a favor. Carnegie's personal philosophy was profoundly influenced by Ralph Waldo Emerson's insightful essays on self-reliance and the inherent power of individual thought, which significantly encouraged him to develop his remarkably unique and effective teaching methods. Furthermore, Carnegie's deep research into human psychology was notably influenced by the groundbreaking works of early psychologists like William James, particularly his compelling ideas on the transformative power of belief and the enduring strength of habit formation. Carnegie's teaching style was inherently interactive, consistently encouraging students to practice the principles in their daily, real-life situations and then report back on their successes and failures, forming the rich basis of many compelling anecdotes woven throughout the book. His philosophy was also heavily influenced by the American pragmatism movement, which emphasized practical results and observable outcomes over abstract philosophical debates, grounding his advice in tangible utility. Carnegie's personal library, a testament to his intellectual curiosity, contained thousands of books on psychology, history, and biography, indicating the sheer breadth of his extensive research into human nature and the lives of successful individuals. Ultimately, Carnegie's brilliant method of using vivid, real-life examples from both his students and prominent historical figures made the book feel like a collection of proven strategies rather than a mere compilation of abstract theories, offering actionable insights for everyone. From these profound observations, Carnegie meticulously distilled universal truths about human nature, forming the bedrock of his most famous principles. Carnegie's core principles are deeply rooted in the fundamental idea that people are primarily driven by an inherent self-interest and a profound, often unspoken, desire to feel important, and that a genuine understanding of these fundamental human motivators can unlock remarkably effective communication. These principles are frequently summarized into key, actionable takeaways, such as the 3 fundamental techniques in handling people. Specifically, don't criticize, give honest and sincere appreciation, and skillfully arouse an eager want in the other person. One of the most enduring core tenets, don't criticize, condemn, or complain, was profoundly inspired by Carnegie's astute observation that even notorious criminals, such as the infamous Al Capone, never truly saw themselves as villains, always finding elaborate justifications for their actions. Another pivotal core principle, give honest and sincere appreciation, was heavily influenced by Carnegie's insightful observation that people crave recognition more than almost anything else, a profound lesson he learned from his own personal struggles during his youth. Carnegie's early emphasis on arousing in the other person an eager want remarkably predates much of modern marketing psychology, demonstrating an early and intuitive understanding of intrinsic motivation and its powerful role in human behavior. The principle make the other person feel important to and do it sincerely is often highlighted as the most crucial among all, as it directly taps into a fundamental human desire for recognition and a deep sense of personal value. Crucially, Carnegie's principles are not about manipulation, but rather about genuinely understanding and respecting others, which he firmly believed naturally leads to positive, enduring relationships and authentic influence. The book's consistent emphasis on giving honest and sincere appreciation represents a subtle but profoundly powerful distinction from insincere flattery, which Carnegie explicitly warned against as being counterproductive and easily detected. This emphasis on sincerity and a genuine interest in others ultimately differentiates the book from many manipulative self-help guides, as Carnegie consistently stressed that these powerful techniques must always come from the heart to be truly effective and lasting. A key principle, universally applicable, reminds us that a person's name is to that person the sweetest and most important sound in any language. A profound insight influenced by Franklin D. Roosevelt's legendary ability to recall the names of even minor acquaintances with remarkable ease. This emphasis on remembering names stems directly from an anecdote about President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who reportedly made a deliberate point of remembering the names of even the lowest-ranking staff members, thereby making them feel genuinely valued and seen. The book also powerfully emphasizes the transformative power of a sincere smile, stating unequivocally that it is a free gift that possesses the remarkable ability to create goodwill and brighten the lives of all who see it. A simple yet profound concept often overlooked in the hurried pace of daily interactions. This advice to smile is deeply rooted in early 20th century psychological studies, which suggested that the physical act of smiling can actually improve one's own mood and significantly enhance the perception of others. One of the lesser-known yet incredibly effective techniques Carnegie advocated was to be a good listener and encourage others to talk about themselves, a simple yet profoundly insightful observation into the depths of human psychology. This advice to be a good listener is frequently cited as one of the most powerful and yet least practiced principles, highlighting its immense and often underestimated impact on interpersonal dynamics. Carnegie's advice to let the other person do a great deal of the talking is strongly supported by modern research, which consistently shows that people inherently enjoy talking about themselves, a natural inclination that can powerfully foster rapport. The chapter titled An Easy Way to Become a Good Conversationalist primarily advocates for the simple yet effective strategy of asking thoughtful questions and then encouraging others to talk extensively about themselves, paradoxically making the listener appear fascinating and engaging. The book's invaluable advice to talk in terms of the other person's interests was wonderfully exemplified by Theodore Roosevelt, who would famously research a visitor's hobbies the night before a meeting to effortlessly find common ground. The book's chapter on how to make people like you instantly includes the crucial advice to make the other person feel important too, and do it sincerely, a subtle yet vital distinction from mere flattery. Finally, Carnegie's profound advice to be lavish in your praise and generous in your appreciation might seem a counterintuitive approach in some cultures, yet remains universally effective in fostering positive, enduring relationships. Beyond building rapport, Carnegie also offered invaluable guidance on navigating disagreements and leading others with grace. As the soft twilight deepens, we consider the delicate art of human interaction, a craft meticulously explored by Dale Carnegie, whose insights continue to illuminate paths toward understanding and cooperation, particularly when navigating the intricate landscape of disagreements. Carnegie's timeless advice to begin in a friendly way when confronting challenging conversations find a compelling illustration in the historical anecdotes surrounding Abraham Lincoln, a master of diplomacy who frequently initiated difficult discussions not with direct confrontation, but with a carefully chosen story or a lighthearted joke, disarming his audience and creating an atmosphere receptive to dialogue. This gentle approach paved the way for more profound understanding, a principle echoed in Carnegie's encouragement to see things from the other person's point of view as an absolutely crucial step in resolving conflicts and building genuine rapport, truly forming a cornerstone of empathy. Indeed, Carnegie's overarching magic formula for handling human relations was elegantly simple, yet profoundly impactful. Try to honestly see things from the other person's point of view, a foundational tenet that underscores the very essence of empathetic communication. The book further suggests that the swiftest and most certain way to inadvertently create an adversary is to directly tell someone they are unequivocally wrong, advocating instead for a far more gentle and indirect approach to correction, preserving dignity and openness. This principle, never say you're wrong, is a subtle yet remarkably powerful technique meticulously designed to preserve the other person's ego and gently open them to persuasion, rather than immediately triggering a defensive posture that shuts down all communication. Carnegie himself, drawing from his own extensive experience as a salesman, discovered the disarming power of vulnerability, leading to the principle, talk about your own mistakes before criticizing the other person, a technique he found effectively softened potential customers and built trust. When a necessity arises to address shortcomings, the chapter titled, If You Must Find Fault, this is the way to begin, sagely advises starting any critique with sincere praise and honest appreciation, a well-known technique often referred to as the sandwich method of constructive feedback. Carnegie's refined approach to criticism was to call attention to people's mistakes indirectly, subtly suggesting that gentle hints and nuanced observations are far more effective in instigating behavioral change than blunt, direct confrontation. The book's profound emphasis on letting the other person save face, even when they're demonstrably wrong, represents a deeply compassionate approach to conflict resolution that meticulously preserves individual dignity and self-respect. This principle, let the other person save face, stands as a profound insight into the very core of human dignity, profoundly emphasizing the critical importance of allowing someone to maintain their pride and self-worth, even in moments when their errors are apparent. The book's culminating section, Be a Leader, How to Change People Without Giving Offense or Arousing Resentment, meticulously offers 9 specific principles designed for effective leadership and persuasive influence, guiding individuals to inspire rather than command. One of the more subtle yet incredibly powerful principles for fostering leadership is to praise the slightest improvement and praise every improvement. consistently emphasizing positive reinforcement over the often demoralizing effects of constant criticism. Carnegie's astute advice to ask questions instead of giving direct orders serves as a sophisticated leadership technique that naturally fosters collaboration and significantly reduces the likelihood of resentment among team members. He passionately advocated for the strategic use of questions rather than issuing direct commands, a technique he explicitly named asking questions instead of giving direct orders, which inherently empowers individuals and cultivates a spirit of cooperation. Furthermore, the book strongly encourages readers to always make the other person feel good about the idea or proposed solution, thereby ensuring that they develop a genuine sense of ownership and deep commitment to the ultimate outcome. Carnegie's creative advice to dramatize your ideas and throw down a challenge are innovative communication techniques specifically designed to capture attention and inspire decisive action. The book's counsel to dramatize your ideas is beautifully exemplified by historical figures such as Abraham Lincoln, who frequently employed vivid stories and compelling metaphors to convey his complex points with remarkable clarity and emotional resonance. Carnegie's insightful advice to throw down a challenge as a powerful motivator is firmly rooted in the understanding that healthy competition and the inherent human desire to excel are potent instincts that can be effectively harnessed for increased productivity and engagement. A compelling story within the book illustrates this with Charles Schwab, the renowned steel magnate, who ingeniously motivated his workers by simply writing their daily output numbers on the factory floor, thereby subtly encouraging friendly competition and inspiring significantly higher productivity. These principles, though seemingly simple in their articulation, prove to be incredibly powerful, resonating deeply with people across generations and diverse cultures, shaping countless interactions and leadership styles. The book's sales during the tumultuous Great Depression were nothing short of phenomenal, a testament to its practical wisdom, and it was widely credited with offering tangible advice and much-needed hope to countless struggling individuals and businesses navigating unprecedented economic hardship. This enduring popularity propelled its translation into dozens of languages, transforming it into a global phenomenon and solidifying its place as one of the best-selling books of all time, with an astonishing record of over 30 million copies sold worldwide. A significant part of the book's immense success stemmed from its accessible language and its consistent reliance on real-life examples and relatable anecdotes, which made complex psychological principles remarkably easy to grasp and immediately apply. The book's lasting appeal resides in its timeless focus on fundamental human nature, offering profound insights that remain remarkably relevant across vastly different cultures and amidst rapid technological advancements. So impactful were its teachings that the book's principles were even taught to military personnel during World War II to improve leadership capabilities and boost morale, powerfully demonstrating their broad applicability far beyond traditional business contexts. Carnegie himself passionately advocated for the transformative power of enthusiasm, firmly believing that it is inherently contagious and can profoundly impact how others perceive and respond to one's presence and message. His teaching style was famously engaging, frequently incorporating humor and personal stories to vividly illustrate his points, making his lectures both incredibly informative and genuinely entertaining. The book's resounding success led to Carnegie becoming a highly sought-after speaker and consultant, traveling extensively across the globe to deliver his empowering message to major corporations and even governmental bodies. The book's enduring relevance is frequently attributed to its unwavering focus on universal human desires, such as the intrinsic need for recognition, genuine appreciation, and authentic self-expression. Carnegie's seminal work has been thoughtfully updated and revised over the years, with the first major revision occurring in 1981 by Dorothy Carnegie, his wife, who skillfully incorporated more contemporary examples while meticulously retaining the original, foundational principles. The book's enduring appeal is partly due to its timeless focus on fundamental human psychology, rather than fleeting social trends or transient technological advancements, ensuring its continued resonance. The book's distinctive structure, richly filled with vivid anecdotes and compelling historical examples, was a deliberate choice to make the principles memorable and deeply relatable, presenting them not as dry academic theories, but as living, breathing wisdom. One of the lesser-known yet effective techniques Carnegie taught was the Carnegie formula for public speaking, which involved a specific structure, starting with an engaging anecdote, then stating a pertinent fact, subsequently providing a practical solution, and concluding with a clear call to action. Carnegie's overarching philosophy was heavily influenced by the American pragmatism movement, which emphasized practical results and observable outcomes over abstract philosophical debates, grounding his advice in tangible utility. The book's monumental success directly led to the establishment of Dale Carnegie Training, an organization that has since expanded globally, offering courses in over 90 countries and 30 languages, continuing his legacy of human development. The book's enduring popularity during the Great Depression was particularly attributed to its promise of personal empowerment and invaluable ability to navigate difficult social and economic landscapes with greater efficacy. Carnegie held a strong belief that success in life was approximately 15% technical knowledge and a remarkable 85% ability to effectively deal with people, a statistic he frequently cited to underscore the paramount importance of human relations. The book has been translated into almost every major language, firmly establishing itself as a staple in self-help literature across diverse cultures and varied political systems. The book's profound success prompted numerous imitators, yet none achieved the same sustained level of impact, largely due to Carnegie's unique blend of practical advice and deeply relatable storytelling. The book's principles were considered so revolutionary at the time that they were groundbreaking insights into human psychology, effectively paving the way for modern self-help and leadership development movements. The book's enduring sales figures, consistently ranking among bestsellers for decades, powerfully demonstrate its timeless relevance across generations and profound societal changes. Carnegie's book was notably one of the first self-help guides to explicitly use real-world examples of prominent business leaders and influential politicians, making its advice feel both incredibly credible and highly aspirational. A key tenet that empowers individuals to take control of their social interactions is the book's focus on changing one's own attitude and behavior, rather than fruitlessly attempting to change others. The book's influence extends far beyond personal development. Its principles are frequently taught in sales, management, and leadership training programs, demonstrating its broad and enduring applicability in professional contexts. As we drift into slumber, let the wisdom of Dale Carnegie gently remind us of the simple yet profound power of human connection, a gentle whisper for a better tomorrow. Now you have the core ideas from How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. The question is which one you apply first. Subscribe to the executive summary for more breakdowns like this, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. The next one drops soon.